the portal, how they're benefiting from it, and how we could enhance that. I think there's great value in having the information publicly available. I think there may also, like, we've been looking at additional ways of creating value or partnering with other groups that enhance basically what the current users have. But right now we're not looking at it and saying, oh, we're going to close the site to only the people in the states that are members. That's a hard thing to do in terms of just trying to keep it open for some people and not others. So one of the things that we're planning right now is over the next month or two is doing a lot of informational interviews, trying to speak with people using the site, how they're using it, the benefits they're getting, etc. So we would love any help any of you are interested or able to provide in helping us talk to the right people who are users or stakeholders of the site right now. We want to do a good survey of them, and so we can better understand how they use it, their benefits, and then also what the opportunities are.
Great. And just to kind of refresh everybody, I think we've talked about this before, but it's been so long. I just want to give you that big picture is that the portal, does have costs associated with it that used to be grant supported. And we just in the past few years have really not been able to sustain that grant funding. A lot of times it was wrapped into larger tech-related grants that Dr. Norlin and bioinformatics were involved in would be a piece of it. And then we haven't been able to just as a standalone get funding. And I'm like, it's over a 20-year-old website. It's not what I consider like sexy to funders to fund something that's been around for a long time. And so we really have had to come to terms with the fact we can't just pay for this indefinitely out of the Department of Pediatrics. They've got a lot of other things that they're trying to support for, and they're having to make really tough decisions about where to expend resources that's going to be most beneficial for children and families in our service area. And while everybody agrees that the content and the service providers directory is very useful, we just need to be thinking more creatively about how to do this. And so Taylor and his group have kind of put this out there, and I think it's a great opportunity to explore it and hopefully modernize the site even more too. Other questions or thoughts? Okay. Then we are just going to move ahead to the next agenda item. And Dale, I'm going to have you work on presenting this as we talk about content news. And you can tell me to scroll up or scroll down, but I was basically just going to show the updates and show the publications while you're talking.
Perfect. Yeah, just to summarize what you're seeing there, there's currently 34 updates and reviews going on by more than 25 different people. And then we're onboarding probably about 8 to 10 other people as well. And since the last board meeting, there were 36 publications by about 45 different authors that have been published. So I just summarize it that way. Just our writers are just amazing, going gangbusters. And you can see their names, and at your leisure, just kind of click around if you see something that interests you. And then for Google Analytics, thanks Athena for pulling this. We've had about a 5% increase in users in the last 3 months, and about a 5.75% increase in page views over the last 3 months. The users are coming from 189 different countries. The top ones are the US, India, and the UK. And our backlinks continue to be very robust, so highly credible sites. There's CDC, AAP, lots of other .govs and .edus, departments of health, for example. And I think that's important because it shows credibility of the website. And the number one page is mental health screening, and that's by Dr. Goldman. Jennifer, good job. And that had a whopping 9,760 page views in the last 3 months. And that reflects the need, I think, for mental health content, and people like tools. They like resources they can go back to, they can use. You can't find that just anywhere. So that was Dr. Goldman's brainchild. So nicely done. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we really, particularly since the pandemic, and a little bit before that, but we noticed a big jump in interest in mental health related topics, and we've been putting quite a bit of effort into generating content in this area and trying to do updates. Now, over the past year, we haven't been publishing new content unless the board had previously approved it, as we've been kind of waiting and figuring out what we're going to be doing with this content licensing. We didn't want to keep adding new publications and authors until we had this all figured out. So everything recently has been updating existing content. But yes, when we look at those numbers on page views and visitors, those kinds of things in the countries where the mental health content is really, really popular, which is impressive when you consider, if you do a Google search on any mental health content or mental health topic out there, there is so much really credible, valuable material. So it feels really great that we're getting this kind of, viewing and people coming to our site. And I don't think I did all 9,000 of those myself, so maybe just a few of those views. Questions about the content and any of the statistics, folks who are on the call?
I always like to hear these statistics, you guys, because it makes me feel like everything I've written for MedHome Portal is infinitely more useful than any peer-reviewed traditional journal thing that I've done. So congratulations.
Thanks, Sarah. We know that content that you have worked on, the premature infant follow-up module and all the related content there has been really popular as well. That's often a very high-ranking one. And I think it's hard to know, unless you're going through the process of trying to update your academic resume and say, oh, I have had this kind of impact. You don't really know that that's happening. We haven't ever been able to come up with a way to auto-generate views per, this site's been viewed this many times since it was published or in the past year, or anything that's just automated. And it's been on our wish list forever, but it'd be super cool, right? You could be ooh, 2,000 people looked at this in the past 3 months or whatever. It'd be amazing. But instead, it's a very manual, laborious process that Athena and Dale go through to try to put together visits from all these, we have these different domains for the different states, and then we have the national one, and they have to aggregate all that, and then Google Analytics do a little switcheroo on us in the middle of it, so that now there's double the work to try to get that information. Justin, go ahead. I think I saw your hand up for a second.
Nope.
There we go. Nope. Okay. Just a random ghost. I do that sometimes. Any other questions or comments?
This is Melissa. I just think that's really cool that for a site that has been around for 20 years to continue to just increase in popularity and use and functionality and be this hub of information for such a diverse population of families and providers. It's just really special, and I think that's really fantastic. So that's exciting to hear those numbers. I'm not really surprised, but really cool to see it. So nicely done.
That's nice. Yeah, one of the things I've been excited about with talking with Taylor and his group is the opportunity to make the material more accessible. You know, we've got a lot of people who visit the site who might like it in a little bit different format, more geared for phone or audio or video content. So this is the kind of thing we've been talking about for a long time that we wanted to be able to do, but this all requires